Hi Flosstube, my name is Becca and this is Shadow Girl getting her treat. Good girl. You have reached SamBrie Stitches here on YouTube, and I am SamBrie Stitches on Instagram as well, and SamBrie Designs on Etsy. This is a channel about cross stitch, my designs, life, adventures, and all that fun stuff. I believe it's been a little over a couple of weeks. It feels like it has been much longer because I attended Nashville Needlework Market. Well, that was a fun beginning. I don't know if you heard that crash, but I'm home by myself. Shadow's in here with me, and my younger daughter's cat just knocked over a whole bunch of stuff in her room. So anyways, it feels like it's been a very, very, very long time since I've recorded. This is Flosstube number 130. Thank you to any new subscribers. If you just found my channel, I hope you enjoy it. This one's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to kind of mishmash things together. I am going to show you the update on my husband's Elk Anthem piece that I'm doing for our anniversary because I reached a milestone. I am going to talk about market and market day at Acorns and Threads. And then I could not for the life of me get the voiceover effect to work on my pictures from my road trip. So at the end, there's about 25 minutes of photos from day 1 through day 11 and then market day that I'll probably just put music to because I'm dealing with a painful toothache. I'm exhausted. Luckily, I did not test positive for COVID. I know a few people at market ended up with COVID. Our neighbors actually have COVID. So thank goodness for that. But I have not fully recovered from market. My body's just done. Anyways, welcome to the new subscribers and welcome back to my returning subscribers. I hope you all enjoy this video. I hope it's not a big jumbled mess of stuff. We shall see. First off, I just want to show you an update on Elk Anthem because I did reach a milestone last night. I brought it with me on our road trip to market. I only stitched on it maybe 2 or 3 times at night because I was just so exhausted. But I did not iron it. It just came out of the Q-snap, but I did reach 80%. So here it is. I'm so close to being done. If you're new, this is Elk Anthem by First Lady of Cross Stitch. I've been working on this for a few years. I used to loathe stitching on it. I used to hate it so much. Now I can't put it down because my husband is so excited. He's not seen the progress since I hit 50%. Our 25th wedding anniversary is at the end of June, and I want to have this done and framed and gifted to him for our anniversary. It's breathtaking. I've got all the elk in, and I'm just working on the last little bit, y'all. Look at it. Oh my gosh, it looks so good in the camera. Oh goodness, I cannot wait to give it to him. So that was a big accomplishment because I've been so tired that my house is a mess. I've not put anything away. You can see my wall is a mess because I've not put my antique samplers back up I brought them to market. I just cannot get energy. I don't know what it is. Who knows? A couple of things that I wanted to go over. There are 2 stitch alongs coming up for my new releases for market. The first one y'all have probably heard about, hopefully, which is really exciting since I am, new to designing. But this is Margaretha Siepkens, 1815. She's a Dutch sampler. I think the stitch along is going to start on or about April 22nd. Acorns and Threads is kitting it up. Janine we've been texting back and forth and she's come up with some amazing, I charted this in DMC. She has come up with some beautiful conversions if you want to use silk or classic color works. She has also come up with some fabric options as well. This was stitched on 40 count vintage by Bee Stitch Me. I think that Janine is choosing some fiber on a whim fabrics. Anything that's close to like a vintage country mocha would work. But oh, the conversions that she's doing, absolutely stunning. I'm so excited to see everybody stitching on this. There'll be more details as the date gets closer. I think that Deborah Carroll Stitcher on Instagram started all of this and is coordinating it and kind of hosting it, which is very exciting. Brenda and Laura have talked about it. Jacob did the research on the Stitcher and found her and did the write-up in my chart, and he has so much information on her, and we're still hoping to do a video together. We just have to figure out timing wise and everything like that, but hopefully y'all will join in. A lot of shops purchased this from me at Market. If your Needlework shop doesn't have it, they can order straight from me, or I will be working with Hoffman. Very, very excited at Market. I met with a few different distributors, and actually, sorry, my hair's a mess. And actually, when Hoffman came in, their general manager came in and introduced himself and was looking over my stuff, and I, did my spiel of, I'm from Pacific Northwest, and, I love antique sampler, all that kind of stuff. And he said he loved my work, and I was like, what? Like, this is the coolest thing ever, like validation. Loved my work, and he said shops would love my charts too, and that he would be happy for Hoffman to work with me. So that is exciting. I have to get my charts to him, or to them, to Hoffman. So that'll be exciting as well, but I do still sell wholesale. So if your shop doesn't have it, they can order from me too. And I don't even mind one-offs. I had a few shops come in and they're like, I need like 1 or 2 charts, and thanked me for doing it. And I said, oh, no. Thank you. I am happy even to sell 1 chart to 1 shop. Like, I was good because there's some smaller online shops. Every chart that goes out just makes me so happy. So I hope that y'all love this beautiful, beautiful sampler. And a little bit of a spoiler alert, I do have a another sampler from the same sellers in the Netherlands that the colors are similar. It doesn't have a name, it has some initials, but it could be a good complementary piece to this. And it will probably be released at Market next year. So I'm excited for that. The other stitch along that is happening, and I'm not sure of an exact date yet because I need to talk with Alicia, Fanciful Flamingo, but she is hosting a stitch along for my Spring on Autumn Hills Place. This is a series, and the model for, I have hair now, the model for the summer at Autumn Hills Place is being stitched right now. So I'm excited. Yeah, so it's really pretty. So not sure on the details yet, but again, same thing. If your shop doesn't carry it, I do sell wholesale if you're interested in it. My designs, except for the Margaretha, will be listed in my Etsy shop at some point, hopefully within the next couple of weeks. Margaretha was an exclusive to Nashville, so that means that at least 4 to 6 weeks. So she'll be available, I don't even know the date, a month after Market, basically. And then I'll list her in my Etsy shop. So those are 2 upcoming sales for my new releases, which is exciting. And then another little tidbit, Colleen, Rebel Stitcher Designs, and I reached out to her actually earlier today or last night, I can't remember. Days are all blurred right now, to do a collaboration for the upcoming fall marketplace, which is an online marketplace for shops. So something exciting in the works for that. I'm excited to kind of collaborate with her, and it'll be pretty cool. I'm excited. Okay, I just wanted to do a few thank yous, and then I'm going to do a little bit of haul and a giveaway, and then talk a little bit about my trip and market, and then just go into the pictures so that I wish that I could talk over them. I cannot for the life of me. I sat here for like 2 hours trying to do the voiceover and it just wouldn't work. So I hope that you enjoy the photos with music. They're beautiful photos, and I'm bummed that I couldn't get the voiceover to work. But a few thank yous. A huge thank you to Jenny McGowan of the Blue Flower. She was my market buddy. She helped me for so long before market, answering all my questions, being super patient, calming me down, checking on me. Like, I don't think that I could have made it through everything without her help and her advice. This was my first market, and I had so many mental breakdowns. You all know, if you've been watching me for any amount of time, I am an emotional person. I do get stressed easily. I do get emotional easily. And market prep was very stressful for me. Just the not knowing the logistics, everything. And she helped tremendously. I had so many breakdowns that my husband just did a last minute decision and said, I'm going to drive you. And I was like, no, you can't do that. You're going to miss so much. Like, he's a higher up at work, basically. And for him to miss work, that's a lot. One day he could miss 50 to 100 emails, and we were gone for 11 days. I mean, of course there's weekends in there, but I was like, no, you can't do that. And he's like, we're doing it. And then that day we went and we traded in my little precious Jeep that I had for a bigger Jeep. We got a Jeep Renegade Willys edition, so that it could fit 5 totes in our luggage and drive across the country to get me to the Nashville market. So my husband, see, I might get emotional. My husband is an absolute rock star. He's my rock. He's my best friend. The trip was amazing. And yeah, I have no words. Like, I can't believe that he did that. I mean, I can believe that he did that, but he's paying for it now. He's trying to catch up at work, but I just, because of him, I made it, and I was sane. He was just such a huge help. And also, I want to also thank Alicia, Fanciful Flamingo. She was sending me the sweetest texts the mornings of market. Like, you got this, just like pump up texts and supportive. And she's just absolutely amazing. If you do not subscribe to her channel, you should, because she's so uplifting. Spoiler alert, we're doing the interview with a Flosstuber with Alicia for this month. And so y'all get to meet her and get to know her a little bit better, and you will be better for it. She's awesome. And then thank you to Brandy, Bee Stitch Me, for sharing the room. We did have a few bumps and bruises along the way. It was a tiny room. There were 4 of us because Brandy brought 2 people and I was by myself, which I'll explain in a minute. And there were hiccups and all that kind of stuff. But I thank her for getting my foot in the door to market, and hopefully next year I will be able to snag my own room. That would be amazing. Speaking of next year and my own room and such, I am actually looking for somebody to redo my logo. The person that made my logo now is too busy to redo it. And so I'm really hoping for somebody to be willing to work with me. I'm willing to pay, but just to revamp my logo so it's more me, more, you know, where you would know who it is. So if you know anybody, or if you are that someone, please reach out to me. I would greatly appreciate it. It's not going to be anything super fancy. I would just like to kind of rebrand now that I've been designing for a year and that this is actually happening. Like, this is a real thing. I want it to be more authentic to me. So anybody out there, reach out to me. I'd appreciate it. Huge thank you to Deborah Carroll Stitcher on Instagram. She lives local to Franklin, Nashville area, and offered to come help me. She came Thursday night to help me set up, and brought a quilt ladder for me to use for my antique samplers. And that was really great to get to meet her. She's very, very nice, very helpful. But when the nasty windstorm hit the area, like, it was a crazy, crazy windstorm, ripping trees out of the ground. And I was told that was rare in that area. I don't know. But it damaged her house. And so unfortunately, she could not help me at market because she needed to stay home for house repairs. So I was by myself. So I did not get to leave the room pretty much at all until Sunday when it slowed down. But I hope that her repairs went well. And I really just appreciate her, you know, being willing to help. And when she came Sunday to pick up her ladder, she introduced me to Grace Note Stitches, which has beautiful fabrics, and I am getting a couple to design on, so that'll be fun. And so that was really neat to meet the family. They also have a floss tube and a Facebook group and sell fabrics, and I'm really looking forward to working with them because not only are her fabrics awesome because she brought swatches to look at, but her family was pretty awesome. When Deborah and I went up to her room, Grace wasn't there, or her husband was. And it was so cool because he was like, I watch you on like YouTube. This is so cool that you're here. And it was me, and Silver Creek Samplers was in there as well. We were looking, it was towards the closing time on Sunday. And so closing time was 4. And I think Brandy and the girls wanted to be out by 4:30, so I had to rush, so I didn't get much time to chat with them, but it was just really nice to meet them, and I'm excited to work with them as well. So Deborah made some connections for me also. So that was fun. And then it was just, I just want to thank Janine from Acorns and Threads. She gave me that loving nudge a year ago when I had driven down to Anna, who is Stitch Roadie's house for our Mother Cluckers meetup, and Janine was there, and I showed them all this design, my adventure sampler design that I just designed to stitch to put up on our Bigfoot wall because there's just not enough Bigfoot designs out there. And she saw it and she was like, I want to sell that. I want it as an exclusive to my shop. And I was like, what? No idea what I was doing. My first printing was terrible. Like, I couldn't get the colors right on the cover photos and this and that. And she still supported me throughout it all. And I will say that my adventure sampler was released to everybody at market. And it was in my top 3 for sales. So Janine knows what the heck she's talking about. I never doubted it, but that was just an amazing, incredible validation. And y'all, there are more Bigfoot fans out there than I ever thought, because my Bigfoot in spring almost sold out. I almost sold out of those charts. It was crazy how much love Bigfoot got from shops from all over the place. Australia, UK, like, it's crazy. Canada. It blew my mind. It really did. So, you know, it's great to know that there are fellow Bigfoot lovers out there. But she's always been so supportive. Her and Carla from Cobweb Corner. Both have been very, very supportive from the beginning. And Brandy, all three of them have been carrying my charts. I pretty much exclusively had used Brandy's fabrics and silks for the first year because I thought it'd be a great partnership to kind of get Brandy out there and me out there. But I'll be branching out, and I want to use, you know, other fabric dyers and other floss and that kind of stuff too, just to try out a little bit of everything and give everybody some love as well. So I think I probably forgot thank yous. I tried to write everything down. My brain is still mush. I'm probably rambling right now, 20 minutes in. So let's do my goodies and then talk a little bit about my trip and market. So my first thing is I got the floss fix from Fat Quarter Shop. I'm in the club. I love that they're going alphabetically because even though I have a ton of classic colorworks, by the end of this club, I will have one of everything. Brandy sent me a couple of her releases. Broken Heart and Sweetheart are her two silks that she released, the variegated. I have her full set of regular silks. She sent me the Color Club to show you. This is for, I would assume February, I think, because March I don't think has gone out yet. This is Sorbet. Very pretty. This is a 20 count. Oh, I forgot to bring up the other fabrics I got from her, but this is 20 count Flawn. I am in the neutral fabric of the month club for that. So this is 20 count Flawn, which is the neutral color. And then this is 40 count Flawn. It's very, very pretty. And let's see, what else do I have? Just trying to zoom through this part of it. So you'll see in the pictures that I stopped at my husband, we saw a whole bunch of quilt shops there and back. On the way back, we were in a big hurry because he wanted to get back to work Thursday. But on the way there was one billboard that said that they were right off the freeway and he needed gas. And he was like, okay, let's just stop and you can go, you know, shop, because it said cross stitch supplies. Turns out they were not right off the freeway. You had to go through 4 roundabouts. They made a joke about that when I introduced myself and stuff. It was funny. It was worth it though. So the quilt shop is Quilt Cottage, and they're in Hayes, Kansas. And I will link them down below. But you'll see pictures and videos. And I actually, let me see if I can find, I can't remember the doggie's name. It's in my notes. Well, when I go through my notes of my trip, I'll tell you. But they had, I opened the door and they were like, we have a dog in here. And I'm like, oh yes, because I missed mine. Just an adorable, sweet black lab, I believe. And she just followed me around and we were buddies and I didn't want to leave. They did not really have much cross stitch supplies. I did tell her about the Needlework market and where I was headed. I gave her one of my cards. So that was kind of cool. We made that connection. And then I bought this. I have no idea how to make it. But this is what I bought from them because I really liked just this little quilt. It's like a quilt as you go inspirational mug mat. And then this one is Our Lives Are Like Quilts, Bits and Pieces, Joy and Sorrow, Stitched with Love. I really like that. So, I think it comes with, it comes with all of them. I didn't realize that. There's a whole bunch of sayings in here, I guess. 7 sewed by number pattern printed on batting. Oh, I should have read it. But I really liked this one, so that's why I bought it. So I bought this kit. Not sure when I'll make it, but you know, that was awesome. The quilt shop's really cool, and I'll talk more about that in a little bit. I did go to market day. So we got back Wednesday, like 4:30 in the evening Thursday was a day of relaxing. Well, not really relaxing. I took Brie out because my younger daughter was here by herself for 11 days, stuck in the house. So Thursday I took her out and we got our nails done together, went to lunch, did a couple errands, you know, went and deposited the money and the checks from market and that kind of stuff. So not really relaxing. And then Friday we got up at about 6:30 and drove down to Acorns and Threads, which is 3 hours from me. We picked up Megan, the frozen crafter, and the three of us drove down to Acorns and Threads for market day. You'll see those pictures at the end as well. I thought it was really cool because I saw my patterns included with all of these absolutely amazing, like elite, talented designers. And then there are my charts. And I'm just, it still blows my mind. It really blows my mind to see that. It really, and my good friends, Peter and Kathy, their Becca spools were there for my Charlotte hatch, which was really cool. So I sent them a picture. And I got to meet Julie Kursave from the her Facebook group. I'll link down below, but I got to meet her because she was there, and her Facebook group is absolutely amazing. She's always has exclusives from some amazing designers that are only in that Facebook group, but she partners with different shops. She's partnered with Acorns and Threads a few times. She is so nice and sweet in person. And it was just, I was like, can we please take a picture together? So we had a picture taken together, and it was just really cool to be able to meet her. And I posted the picture in her Facebook group, and everybody was like, oh, it's so nice to put like a face to the name and that kind of stuff. So that was a really cool experience. I did pick up some linen, 36 count vintage country mocha Edinburgh linen. I mean, I think I picked up 2 pieces of vintage country mocha. Who am I buying linen? Designing has just, I don't know, driven me off the deep end, I suppose. I'm still an Ada stitcher. I will still choose Ada over everything. But for my reproductions, I do need linen for some of them. This is antique ivory, 36 count. And then I also got a 40 count Newcastle linen in natural. So I did get some linen. Y'all, I did not do any shopping in Nashville. 1, I didn't really know that I could. And 2, I didn't really have time. Next year, I will do that because I'm kicking myself. Oh, I got another piece of linen. This is summer khaki 40 count. Sorry, I'm going to reach in here. I did buy some classic Colorworks. I designed a new patriotic piece that I'm stitching, and so I have those downstairs. But I did buy the country or classic Colorworks new colors. And I think I'm going to design using this in like my summer Bigfoot piece. I like those colors. Now, the reason why I'm regretting not shopping at Nashville is because this company was at Nashville. I could have gotten it there, but I paid full retail price for it, which is fine. Janine had this out on display, and actually when I get this out, I will do maybe a little review on it, but she had it out on display, so I got to play with it. The magnifier is 3 times magnification, and she had the magnifier out over some stitched linen, and it's amazing. The light is super cool because I think it has like 3 different color or 3 different lighting options and different colors or something. And it charges your phone. So this is rechargeable. So it'll be nice for, it has a USB port too. The magnifier is detachable. So that's kind of cool. So this is a pretty cool light. I'm thinking this will be really good for reproducing antique samplers too. It'll be easier for me. The only thing that I was asking Janine about, and she kind of folded it up to show me, is it doesn't fold as flat as like my Halo Go. The problem with my Halo Go is the base part where it's connected to the actual base is starting to break. And I'm not sure why, because it's supposed to be meant to be moved and bent, but it's starting to crack. And so I had to glue it, or like glue it and tape it to keep it upright. So I figured I'd try this, and I was playing with it on display and I really like it. So I'm excited to use it and kind of see what that's all about. And then the other thing that I bought that I did not really need, but I couldn't resist, is my friend Corey. She is Crafty Corey Stitches. She makes bags exclusively for acorns and threads, and this was in the market area. Oops, I don't really want to show the price. But look it. I mean, she makes the bags with these zipper pulls, handles. They're very sturdy, beautiful fabric. And she's Crafty Corey Stitches on Instagram. So if you're interested in getting one of her bags, because these are awesome, and she does different sizes, and I've shown the stitching mat from her as well that I've got, you can contact Acorns and Threads, and they will kind of tell you what type of bags that they have for her, but they are worth every penny. Don't need bags, but they're worth every penny. Okay. The last thing that I'm going to show you, and I don't know if I can show this yet or not, but Fat Quarter Shop sent the Stitch Quarterly. So here's the bag. And then I'm not going to show the actual chart because I don't know if it's, you can't really see the chart, but it is blooming beautiful. And it's got all the goodies in here. Beautiful needle minder, some DMC, the fabric, the chart. Looks like it's Ada in here. And so, okay. So, I want to go over the trip a little bit because I am so sorry that I could not figure out the voiceover. I just don't have the brain power. 2 hours of trying to fight with it and I was done. What I did is I split it into days. So you'll see day 1 and then the trip, then day 2 and so on through day 11 and then market day at Acorns and Threads. And it has little markers throughout it. So if you want to watch it, great. If you want to skip to, certain ones or certain days, you can. We took 4 days to get there. We took our time. So I think day 4 is when photos start of market on there. So day 1, we drove down through Oregon. I'm from Portland, Oregon, so I know the scenery, but I wanted to take pictures for y'all so that I could bring you on the trip with me. I took pictures as my husband was driving 60 to 80 plus miles an hour. I rolled down the window, I took it through the window, but I think all the pictures and the videos turned out really well. But I wanted y'all to have the experience and share the experience with me. I did post quick videos of my day recaps on Instagram and Facebook. They were really quick. You didn't really get to see much of the pictures, but I wanted to keep everything separate so that I could have everything separated for the video. So this is a lot more slowed down. It's 25 minutes of photos and videos. So we drove down through Oregon day 1. We hit Portland, which is where I was born and raised. We drove past Multnomah Falls. We didn't stop, but I did snap some pictures. There was a lot of frozen waterfalls, which was pretty cool. We reached the desert, drove through beautiful farmland into Pendleton. We saw a herd of elk, which was absolutely amazing. We saw a lot of elk on the trip. We saw a couple mountain goats. Then we went up over the Blue Mountain Pass, which was about 4,193 feet elevation. And then we went down into La Grande and headed out through Ontario. We hit Boise at about 7 Mountain Time. So the time changes were getting us. I think we only hit 2 time changes because we're Pacific. And then the snow started to pile up. So it got a little bit nerve-wracking. I have a video of the snow coming at us just before we had stopped in Mountain Home, Idaho for the night. I think the first day we drove about 640 miles. Not we, my husband. My husband did all the driving. I was in the passenger seat. And then every time I got my stitching out, because I prepared a patriotic piece just for fill-in for the trip, and my husband's like, you're really gonna stitch when there's all this beautiful scenery to see. And I was like, you know, that's a good point. Like, stitching will always be there, but this trip, I think if I would have stitched, I would have missed so much, and I wouldn't have had beautiful photos of my trip to show y'all. So kudos to my husband. At first I was annoyed, but now I thank him. It was just funny. I tried it a couple of times and I was like, I'm not getting it out till we stop for the night. So we had great weather pretty much up until Mountain Home when the snow started. It wasn't terrible, but driving in the snow when it's coming at you at night is kind of a little nerve-wracking. So thank you all for the love and prayers throughout all of this. I was receiving comments and messages and texts, and making memories with my husband was the absolute best thing to do. Like, this trip was amazing. So day 2, I didn't really write down much notes. We drove through Idaho, and I just remember cows, and I'm like, what's that smell? The more cows, there's snow on the sagebrush, which was really cool. Lots more cows, and my husband's like, man, you really are a city girl. Because my husband grew up in Midland, Michigan, and like, his grandparents had a farm. His uncle had raised cows, I believe for beef. So he, even though he lived in Midland, that area is a little different because you could drive like a few minutes out and be in farm country. So he was kind of like a farm boy kind of thing. And I'm definitely a city girl growing up in Portland, Oregon. So I was like, oh my gosh, what's that smell? And he was like, cows? And he'd be like, dang, you're a city girl. We did go through Switzer Summit, I believe. And I think that was about 5,530 feet up. But that's pretty much all the notes that I had for day 2. So honestly, I think day 2 was just a lot of Idaho. Day 3 was a doozy of a day. We had such a pain in the butt experience using hotels.com through this whole trip. Twice I used them, and I think we arrived in Mountain Home at like 10 at night. And when we got there, the check-in clerk was like, your card was declined. And I'm like, how is it declined? I have a confirmation through hotels.com. Like, my card is charged. I showed him. And he's like, well, you're not getting a room until you pay X amount. So I had to pay for the room again in order to get the room. And then I had to fight with him, and then I was a full-on, like, I've never acted like this, but I was tired. He was rude. I didn't want to pay 2 times for a night at the hotel. So I was like, can you please just get your manager on the phone? Like 11 o'clock at night, and he calls his manager. His manager was also not nice. So, oh wait, no, that wasn't in Mountain Home. That was in Bennett, Colorado, where this happened. So I ended up just chatting with hotels.com, and they ended up refunding me because it was just an absolute nightmare. But we left there about 9 a.m. Central Time. We drove through the rest of Colorado and into Kansas. Then the mountains became in our rearview mirror. We entered farmland. I saw a billboard for the quilt shop. So this is the quilt shop. They had cross-stitch supplies advertised just off of I-70. So Darren offered to take me there because we had to stop for gas and snacks anyways. The owner was so nice. They didn't have much cross-stitch items, but they had tons of beautiful quilt fabric. And I asked permission. I told her about my YouTube channel. And I recorded a lot of the shop, and they had a huge yarn area as well, which was really cool. So I recorded that, and I put that into the video montage at the end. I made friends with the black lab. Oh yeah, her name was Sadie. Oh, she was so sweet. So I told the owner that, I was on my way to Nashville for a needlework market and explained what it was because she didn't know. And she asked for my business card and we thanked each other. So it was a really, really great interaction. The shop was amazing, amazing. It was so cool. And then we drove on and Darren kept announcing when he saw a hawk. There were so many hawks through this trip. Okay, so my husband is driving 60 to 80 miles per hour, whatever the speed limit is, right? And he is still spotting elk, deer, hawks that are sitting on the fence post as he's driving. Like, this man is amazing. So I managed to snag a picture of a hawk sitting on the fence post while driving 70 miles an hour. Like, I don't know how that happened. But we turned it into a game and trying to spot the hawk before the other person did. So that was kind of fun. That was pretty cool. So we finally saw a herd of deer in an empty farm field. We stopped for the night in Lawrence, Kansas. We checked into the Quality Inn about 6 p.m. and the desk person gave us our room keys and we went up to the room, used our key to go into the room, and walked into someone else's hotel room, y'all. Luckily, they weren't in there, but all of their stuff was. And we immediately turned around and were like, we're out, because we didn't want to get accused of anything, okay? Like, the hotels, for the amount that we paid for the hotels, you would think that it was just hiccup after hiccup. It was insane. Went back down to the desk and was like, yo, we just walked into somebody else's room, and we're very lucky that they weren't there, because if somebody walked in on our hotel room, I think adrenaline would have been pumping and words would have been said. And the guy was like, I don't know what you're talking about. It shows that the room's empty. And I'm like, trust me, the room is not empty, sir. Trust me. So they got us a new room, and my husband told me to stay back, and he went in first to make sure that there was nobody in the room. And it was just crazy. And then we went to dinner at Texas Roadhouse, right next door, literally in the same parking lot as the hotel. I took the napkin off of my plate to eat a roll because I have been craving their rolls and their butter, okay? Like, as soon as I knew we were going to be a Texas Roadhouse country. So I take the napkin off my plate, and there was a long brown wet hair across my plate, okay? Then I opened my napkin to get my silverware out, and it had crusty food on it. At that point, I was like, I'm just ready to go. Like, I'm so grossed out, I'm ready to go. And I'm not the type of person to be rude and, like, act out. I was tired, and I was just like, are you kidding me? So they came, and I was like, look at this. They got me new stuff. Everything I think went from there. It wasn't terrible. Ate my rolls. We ordered a bloomin' onion or whatever they call it there. And the waitress that brought it to us was putting it down, tilt the plate, and the bloomin' onion and the sauce went everywhere all over the table. I was like, oh my gosh. She was very apologetic, cleaned it up. We got a new one. And after all of that, no discount, no nothing. I wasn't going to ask for one because I'm not that type of person, but you would think that after all those incidences that they would, discount or give us a free meal or something. No, nothing. So that wasn't cool. Let's see what else happened that day. So we went back to our hotel room, and I got some stitches in on the elk anthem that night. And Darren, the little turd, snuck a sneak peek at the elk. Luckily, it was just a little section because it was in my Q-snap, so he couldn't really see it all. But he was like, haha, I saw 2 elk. Like it was a toddler. But it was cool. I didn't mind that he looked because I could tell he was excited that I was working on it and that it came with us on the trip. So day 4 was a pretty great day. We left our hotel in Kansas around 9 a.m. and entered Missouri pretty quick. We decided to take a bit of a scenic route through the beautiful farmland. So we took like 50 east to 5. I'm reading my notes. And then back to I-70. So we saw just beautiful farmlands. Just because we had a little extra time, we were just kind of like, meandering and taking our time. We knocked out quite a few states off of my never been to bucket list. Colorado, Kansas, Missouri, Kentucky, and Tennessee I'd never been to, which was pretty cool. We also crossed over the 5 major rivers on the road trip too. So we crossed over the Columbia, the Colorado, the Mississippi, Ohio, and Missouri River. And I caught a quick pic of the arch in St. Louis before crossing the bridge into Illinois. We only drove through a small section of Illinois and Kentucky before heading into Tennessee, but I still count it. And y'all, okay, so I am not a bridge person at all. I freak out, especially if we get stopped on bridges. I have panic attacks. Bridges, I'm scared that they're just going to crumble and I am going to drown in my car in the water underneath said bridge. No rhyme or reason. That's just my thing. We drove through or over a lot of bridges on this trip, a lot. And I did not panic because I was with my husband and it wasn't terrible. The other thing that I'm scared of, that I'm petrified of, is thunderstorms, thunder and lightning. Y'all, just as we hit Tennessee, we hit a thunderstorm. And I felt so bad for my husband. I mean, 25 years, he knows how I react. It was raining. The thunder doesn't scare me, but the lightning, every time there was lightning, I would jump and like cuss or say something. And the first couple of times it threw him off because, he didn't see it because it was out my window, kind of thing. But then he was like, you really need to calm down. You really need to calm down. And I was like, well, maybe if I start recording and trying to get pictures and stuff like that for y'all and for my video blog or vlog, whatever you call it, that would calm me down. So I would sit there and I would hit record and I would just have it sitting. My window did not go down. It was through the window. And I would just sit there and just record until I caught something, and then I'd stop it. And then I would edit just to, to the lightning part or whatever. So I caught some really good, videos and some photos of the lightning, which will be in the video montage. That was pretty cool. But I still don't like thunder and lightning. I still freak out. I still like turn into a crying baby. The videos, everything's going to be silent, especially in those videos, because I was cussing and I was bawling, like literally bawling. So I did catch some of that. And then, let's see. So that was in, Pleasant View. So we checked into the Hilton around 6 p.m. Central Time, and we had dinner at Sidelines Grill. Y'all, Sidelines Grill is really good. I had the steak wrap or something, and their fries were, Next year, I know where I'm going for restaurants for sure. Unfortunately, this trip cost a lot of money because I had bought a plane ticket and I couldn't get the refund on the plane ticket. And then my husband drove me. So it was 11 days basically of hotel rooms. And I had to book a separate hotel room from the market one because my husband came and we wanted a separate room. So I still had to pay for the nights for the market room and then the nights at the other hotel in Franklin, plus all of the trip. So this trip was very expensive. I chalk it up to a very expensive marketing and fangirling like crazy trip. Memories were made, connections were made, but I tell you that this trip was insanely expensive. Next year, I'll fly. I can figure something out. I'm going to have to fly for sure. So we got there and we're going to get some sleep because tomorrow was a big day, be setting up the shop and that kind of stuff. So we got some rest with that. So we had to stop that's why we had to stop in Pleasant View because our room in Franklin at the other hotel wasn't ready. Like they didn't have an availability for us to check in on Wednesday night. So we had to stay at another hotel about an hour out and then drive on Thursday to check into both hotels. So Thursday we arrived. We were able to check in early, and my husband unloaded the totes. They're 100+ pound totes, and I brought an insane amount of charts. I did not need to bring that many charts, but he unloaded. And then we left the stuff there, went and checked into the other hotel. He relaxed. I drove back to the Market Hotel, met with Deborah, and we started setting up because I hadn't heard from Brandy because she was still driving from Illinois. And I don't think Brandy showed up till like 5:30 or 6 at night. And so I had already kind of started setting up. And I guess I probably should have waited because we didn't really talk about the layout or the plan or anything. I just assumed that, you know, I would be in this small little area on the side. But so that was kind of a whole thing. And I didn't realize the room was as small as it was. I went up and talked with Janine McGowan, the Blue Flower, got some advice. She had brought an extra lights for me to use, which was really nice. So that was the whole thing. Then let's see, so Friday there was a crazy windstorm, and that was it tore trees out of the ground. I think that's what damaged Deborah's house. There was a tornado watch on Friday. It was just crazy. And so Thursday, I think Darren and I went to the Grand Ole Opry prior to setting up. I can't remember. One of those days. You'll see but we went to the Grand Ole Opry. We didn't do the tour. We just went into the shop. The tour was too expensive and we just didn't have the time. So we went into the gift shop, bought a whole bunch of stuff. And that was really awesome. And then I think Friday, market didn't start till 5. And so I had mostly set up Thursday night, and I didn't get to the hotel till noon or 1, or I don't remember. So Darren and I we were going to go back to the Grand Ole Opry to do some more shopping, but we ended up stopping at Outdoor World, which was absolutely amazing because it was kind of like Bass Pro Shop and Cabela's and all this stuff all in one. And they had this huge like fish tank thing that I could have just stayed and watched forever. I took a picture of it. But it was like their anniversary or something crazy. And so they were doing this promotion where I guess they have different lodgings all over like the US. And usually they're $700 to $800 or something like that. And they were doing this promotion for a super good deal for like 3 or 4 nights. You just have to use it within the next 2 years. You get to pick where you want to go, that kind of thing. And I was like, I don't know. I said, we're visiting here. We drove from Washington. Like, I don't know. And so the guy was like, oh, hey, I'll throw in a gift card to the store and then another gift card for when you all book your trip. So we ended up doing that. So in the next 2 years, we'll be going to a cool place. And all we have to do is just get there. Everything else is paid for, which is really cool. So it was kind of neat that we randomly stopped there because it was just storming and the tornado watch. And I was frazzled. Then we get to market. And I tell you, I was excited to be there as a designer, but I think I was more excited to meet everybody, because I'm trying to explain to my husband. I mean, you know, he's seen me stitching for years. He hears me watching Flosstube and talking about people, and I'm trying to explain to him that, okay, like this person is equivalent to like an actor or actress in a movie in our community. Like, these people are famous. Like, they're people that I want to meet, that I want to just take pictures with and fangirl over. And like, he wasn't understanding the comparison, because we have celebrities in our stitching community. Like, we all know that. And so I'm getting there, and all of these people are just like popping into our rooms, or you know, just walking by. I met so many people. I tried to be good with pictures. I didn't take pictures with a lot of people. I met Jean from the attic. She was with Janine on Sunday, and we were just talking, and I didn't get a picture, but I met her. Like, oh my gosh, Paulette Stewart from Plum Street Samplers. I met her, and I didn't get a picture. There were like quite a few people that I talked to, and we were in conversations or even in passing, that I didn't get pictures with. And I'm regretting it, because you know me, I like my pictures, I like my videos, I like to share everything with everybody. But I did get quite a few pictures with people. I finally got to meet people that I've been friends with online. Like, Brandy and I have been friends for 4 or 5 years, and we finally met in person at Market. Carla from Cobweb Corner. We've been in collaboration and became friends, and I was so happy that she finally arrived safely at Market. She had lots of delays and such, and she wanted to meet my husband, and so I had my husband come in, and he met Carla, he met Janine, he met Brandy. Like, I got to show my husband to people, which is really cool, because many people wonder if he smiles or if he exists or what. So it was really neat that he was willing to basically, you know, be introduced to people. I got to see Colleen, Rebel Stitcher. She's a fellow Bigfoot, you know, lover. I'm excited to collab with her. I mean, there were so many people that you'll see in the pictures. Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. We took some fun pictures together. Gary and Ronnie. Man, Two Tall Stitchers. Y'all, they are tall. I'm not even kidding. I got a picture with them, and I'm like, thanks for making me feel small. And then they were like, y'all, you are. I was like, they were awesome. Cornhusker State Stitchers. I got to meet both of them. I love them. They are awesome. Bobby, Pumpkin Creek Primitives. Oh my gosh. Just, I'm forgetting people. Y'all see the pictures. JBW Designs, Jan Hicks. I got to give Janine McGowan a big hug and take a picture with her, which was incredible. Like I said, she means a lot to me because she helped me out so much, just being my mentor. Erin from Autumn Lane Stitchery. Oh gosh, so many people. So that was really cool. I fangirled like crazy. It was exciting because Friday night is usually fabric night where people go crazy for fabrics. But I was actually busy Friday night too, which was really cool. So I wasn't expecting that. But that was pretty cool. I met with a representative of Fabric Flair. We're going to be doing a collaboration together for one of my reproduction samplers, if we can make that work. So I'm really excited for that. And then I met with distributors and chose to go with Hoffman, which was really cool. That was with him just saying that he loved my work and that shops would love my work. That was just amazing validation, and my jaw hit the floor. It was crazy. I received so much good advice from everybody. Sunday, I was able to kind of run around a little bit. And I went up to see Stephanie Webb, Lindy Stitches, popped in there. I saw Priscilla and Chelsea in their room. I didn't get a chance to get in there, but it was really cool just to see them. It was so neat to be able to. I think next year I want to bring somebody or have somebody with me. Hopefully I have my own room so that I can go around comfortably, because I want to see other people's displays. I want to meet more people. I just didn't really get to do a whole lot of that this market because it was my first. I didn't want to leave the room. I didn't have anybody to help me. I didn't want to miss anybody, that kind of thing. So, yeah, so Sunday I just got to kind of roam around and meet people and pop into a couple rooms, not very many. But yeah, Sunday was great. Just being able to see people. I'm just trying to read my notes. It was very, like, people kept asking me what my experience was like, and I kept saying it's very surreal. Like I was there and I was in the moment. And a lot of times I forgot to take pictures. But just being there as a designer was mind-blowing for me. And just meeting so many celebrities basically was just awesome. The other best part was just having my husband there. We don't like to be apart. And just having him there for my first market and being able to he picked me up, took me to dinner, asked me how it was, and just being able to just be with him in the evening was great. I did probably miss out on making connections. I saw people eating breakfast together and dinner together, and next year I will be doing that. It's just my first year with my anxiety and with my health issues, man. I was so exhausted. I don't think I had the energy to do all that. With my long haul, like, I was out of breath all the time. It was just crazy, but so worth it. So worth it. Yeah, my husband brought me Krispy Kreme Saturday morning because that was the longest day. So he surprised me with some donuts, and it was just awesome. Brandy drove me Saturday and Sunday mornings because I stayed in the same hotel as the girls, her daughter, and the other woman that worked for her. So I drove with them in the mornings, which was really nice, so my husband could relax and not have to get up super early. So yeah, wow, market was incredible. Market, I will never ever forget that experience. I tell you, never. So after that, we quickly packed up because market ended on Sunday at 4. And I think I heard Brandy and the girls saying they wanted to be out by 4:30. I had a lot to pack up. I was really proud of my display. I was very proud. I'm glad that I kind of did it ahead of time so I had an idea of how I wanted it. I went for a Pacific Northwest theme. I brought the quilt that Colleen from Stitching with the Sisterlies made me, which was special. I brought the wooden Bigfoot ornament that Jackie had given me. I brought a lot of my Bigfoot stuff and made it more of a Pacific Northwest theme display. And I was very proud of it. I really was. Yeah, I worked hard. I planned ahead, and I think it turned out great. I got a lot of great feedback, a lot of positive, kind of reactions. So that was really cool. So we packed up really quickly. Got loaded up in the Jeep and kind of went back to the hotel, had dinner, relaxed, and then headed out at about 7:45 the next morning. Now, my husband wanted to get back in 3 days because he wanted to go back to work on Thursday. He had missed so much work. I don't blame him. He drove 900 plus days, I think, the first 2 days. I started out with barely a voice because I was talking so much. I thought I was getting sick, but luckily I didn't. I heard a couple people did have COVID. They tested positive COVID on Sunday. So I was hoping that it wasn't a super spreader at market because I I wasn't thinking and I didn't wear a mask, but I can't breathe very well with masks. So it was like, take my chances. But I did not have COVID, tested negative multiple times. But, so it was kind of a quiet morning because I didn't have much of a voice on the drive. We hit Kentucky, beautiful farms. We kind of went back a little bit of a different way than we came so that we could see more sights, which was really neat. But Kentucky was beautiful, farms and fields. I swear, and I don't think I got the picture, but it was awesome that it looked like there were Clydesdales pulling a wagon in a farm field. Like, it was the coolest thing ever. But I did not catch that picture. We hit Illinois and a lot of the fields were flooded in the area that we drove through, which was pretty sad. We went through Tennessee, Kentucky, Illinois, Missouri, Iowa, and Nebraska. And it was like 6:30. And we had gone like 713 miles or so far. But we were driving in Nebraska at like 9 at night. We didn't stop until, I don't know, like 10 maybe. And I received some not so great news from someone like health-wise. And so that kind of hit me hard. So I'm glad we were stopping for the night. But everything turned out fine. Everything's good. I'm not going to go into details. It's not my story to tell. But everything ended up turning out good. I was just a little stressed because I was so far away when it was happening. So we stopped at about 10 p.m. Central Time in Kursave, Nebraska, and got some rest. Not very much rest because we woke up at about 7:30 and left the hotel. Nebraska was like in the mid to low 20s, and so I was taking pictures through the window because every time I rolled down the window, my face would freeze. So we saw pronghorn, which was really cool, entering Wyoming. When we got into Wyoming, the fog was so thick that we could barely see. Like, I think I took a couple of pictures. It was crazy. Then it cleared up and we saw some antelope and some deer and elk. They were kind of all near each other, which made me think of the Home on the Range song, which, by the way, my younger daughter did not know when I was telling her about our trip when we got home. So we need to school her. But it was really cool that they were all like, Wyoming was pure animals everywhere. It was the coolest thing ever. We saw 2 large coyotes that I swear look like wolves. And I didn't get a picture because I didn't see it until right when we were there. But on the side of the road, there's like this big hill, and one was laying down and one was sitting up, and they looked like gray and big. And my husband's like, they're not wolves, they're coyotes. And he knows his animals and he knows everything like that. But it was just the coolest thing to be able to see them. So that was kind of neat. We spotted some wild horses. There were no farms, no fences, no nothing around. I got a picture of 3 of them. I think there were 5, but 3 of them fit in the picture. So that was kind of cool. We're pretty sure they were wild horses. So Mustangs, that's pretty neat. And there were so many bull elk. My poor husband is a hunter, and I'm sure it hurt his heart to drive past all of these elk I was getting pictures of with these racks like you wouldn't believe, and just leaving them there. So it was 84 was filled with elk, which was just the coolest thing ever, through Utah and Idaho, which was really neat. And then we had crossed back into Oregon. I think it was day 11. We went through the mountain pass. It was snowing and sticking to the roads. There were some sharp curves. So we took it really slow, but it wasn't terrible. It was just beautiful snow-covered mountains, and it was stunning, and it was very windy. And we got through all of that. And then my husband stopped and parked at Multnomah Falls, and I ran out even though it was freezing cold, but I got some really good pictures and a video for y'all. If you've not seen Multnomah Falls, it is kind of what the Portland area is known for. We saw Bonneville Dam. I took a picture of that for y'all, and a couple different dams, and it's just the gorge. Basically, it's just such a beautiful, beautiful place. And Multnomah Falls is a tourist area. They have a gift shop and a restaurant, and it's just, you can hike all the way to the top. I have lived there pretty much all my life till I met Darren, and I had never hiked to the top. He has. And then apparently, and I didn't even know this, at the top of the Multnomah Falls, because you can see my video, and then above it, there's another falls. There's 3 parts to Multnomah Falls, and I did not know that. So I probably will never get up there, especially with my long haul and not being able to move and, you know, being out of breath and all that kind of stuff. But it's really cool to know that. And there's other beautiful falls all around there too. So it's a destination place if you come to visit Oregon, for sure. You can go to Acorns and Threads, drive to Multnomah Falls, Bonneville Dam, that kind of stuff. It's worth it for sure. So we did that, and then basically headed on home. I think we got home about 4:30. And just unpacked and relaxed. I was exhausted. It was an absolutely amazing, mind-blowing trip that I did with my best friend. And I was joking because people were asking me how the trip went, you know, at market and then when we got home. And I was just joking. I was like, you know, the good thing is we're still happily married. Being in the car with somebody for hours and hours and hours on end, you would think that we would fight and bicker and drive each other crazy, but we did not. We talked, we listened to music, we spotted things, you know, for each other to look at, and it was incredible. Incredible. I just wanted to show a couple cool things. I met Mrs. Flossie. It's so cool. And she actually gifted me a tomato pincushion. I thought it was really cool. And then I just wanted to share because I'm super, super proud of it. Y'all, I'm in the cookbook. I hope that y'all got it. The Happiness is Homemade. They gave us this, and lots of people are in it. But I'm in it. And of course I had to do a Bigfoot baking because I chose Snickerdoodles, which is my favorite cookies, for my recipe. And so he's so cute. I also gave the shops a freebie. It was my first bee design that I kind of launched. It was a smaller one, and I just ended up turning it into a freebie. So if you pre-ordered my designs from a shop, they should have my freebie as well. So I think that's everything. I don't know. It's already an hour and 15 minutes, and then you have another 25 minutes of photos. Again, I'm so sorry that I couldn't talk over it and that I had to do it separately, but I really hope that you watch the video and just kind of come along on the journey. I tried to take a lot of pictures so that y'all felt like you were on the journey with me. I like to share that kind of stuff. I am very, very open and honest. I don't try to hide anything. And I just want to say that I really enjoyed Market, and I'm really, really thankful for Market. I think that I set my goals very, very high, and part of me felt a little let down. But I think I did really well. It almost covered the trip, almost. But I made a lot of connections, so I'm really excited about that. And I think only bigger and better things are going to come. And a lot of people said that I should be proud, and I am. I just think that I shouldn't have set my expectations so high. But I'm really appreciative for everything, all the love and the support, and I'm going to keep going. I have designs ready, and I'm going to continue to release. So I hope you love them as much as I do and enjoy the pictures. And my husband and daughter just got home from their daddy-daughter date, so I'm going to go and see how they had some fun. Anyways, until I see you all again, happy stitching, everybody.